Okay, let's talk about a brand most of us probably use, maybe even a little too much, Zomato. We're going to dive into their secret strategy, and here's the thing. Their real product, it's probably not what you think it is.
So let me ask you something. When you think of Zomato, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Just what's that initial gut reaction?
You're probably thinking food delivery app, right? And yeah, you're not wrong. That's what they do. But that's just the tip of the iceberg, really.
So, what if I told you that Zomato isn't really just a food app at all? What if their main product isn't delivery, but something bigger, something way more powerful? That's exactly what we're going to get into.
Okay, so this gets us to the heart of it, Zomato's storytelling secret. See, they're not just a service you use. They've figured out how to become a personality you actually like.
What they are is what's called a storytelling brand. And this definition is super important. The whole game isn't about direct promotion, it's about building an emotional connection. They use humor. They post stuff that's super relatable, all so they can become a part of your daily social feed, not just another app buried in a folder on your phone.
And you got to understand, this is the long game they're playing. Their goal is to build that loyalty long before you even think about being hungry. Every time you laugh at one of their posts or share it, that's them building a positive association in your mind. It's brilliant, really.
So how do they pull this off? Well, it's not just random luck. They actually have a playbook, and honestly, it's way simpler than you might think, but it's incredibly effective. It basically comes down to 3 key things. Step 1, humor. They make funny, meme-worthy stuff that you want to share. Step 2, they tap into trends. Whatever's happening online, they find a way to join the conversation. And step 3, relatability. They post about those everyday experiences we all go through. It's simple, but it works. All right, so that's what they do. But the really interesting part is why it's so powerful. I mean, think about it. Why are we all so willing to share posts from a food delivery app? It's kind of weird when you stop and think about it.
Just take a look at this. On one side, you've got your typical promotional content, 50% off today. It's all about the transaction, right? It's asking you to do something. But then look at Zomato's emotional content. That feeling when the delivery arrives. It's not asking for a sale. It's just sharing a feeling, an experience we've all had.
And that's the key. That emotional approach does so much more than a simple ad ever could. It creates a feeling, not a sale. It sparks conversations, it gets people sharing, and it builds this sense of community. Suddenly the brand is memorable for a feeling, not just a discount.
Okay, so this is where we zoom out, because even though we're talking about Zomato, there's a huge lesson here for pretty much any brand, any creator, anyone trying to build an audience.
And this is it. This is the big takeaway. People share emotions, not advertisements. I mean, just think about your own behavior. When was the last time you excitedly forwarded a banner ad to your friend? Probably never. But a funny meme, a relatable post, you send that stuff without a second thought.
So the crucial point is this. Every share, every comment, every laugh, it's like a tiny little deposit into what you could call a brand loyalty bank. It's a small, positive interaction that just strengthens that connection. And all those little deposits add up, so when you finally are hungry, who do you think of first?
All right, so let's wrap this up. What is the ultimate takeaway here? If we were to distill the Zomato playbook down to its essence, what would it be? It really comes down to a few key ideas. First, focus on connection. Build that relationship before you even try to sell. Second, be human. Use humor. Be relatable. Don't just sound like a faceless corporation. Third, create value. Make content that people actually want in their feeds. And finally, think emotion. Always ask yourself, what feeling is this content going to inspire?
And that brings us to the final question. And this one's for you. It doesn't matter if you're running a massive brand or you're just a solo creator. The principle is exactly the same. So, what emotion does your brand share?